Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Well, it seems like Russia is not that isolated as some people try to portray it. It is true that certain countries are turning their back and keep their toys at home, and they want to go in a playground and play with Russia. But nevertheless, I don't think Russia needs any of these guys' presence to make its own choices and act unilaterally. The news that I have read a few minutes ago is about the United Nations chief who's going to visit Russia and Ukraine and try to break a kind of like silence of the guns. So Russia and Ukraine agreed to maybe temporarily silence their guns, so the civilians and the refugees could um, settled, I guess. But let me read you the exact uh, title. This comes from republicworld.com, and it's from April 23rd, 2022. That's their time, because our time is still April 22nd. And I have it here. That is, the UN chief will discuss steps that can be taken right now in order to silence the guns, in order to help the people and allow safe passage to people. So, in a bid to bolster efforts towards ending the all-out Russian war on Ukraine, Secretary General of United Nations Antonio Guterres is set to travel to Moscow on April 26. Guterres will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov for lunch and work discussions, according to UN spokesperson Eri Caneto. The urgent visit is significant as the war enters day 58. The UN chief will discuss steps that can be taken right now in order to silence the guns, in order to help the people, and in order to allow the people who need to get out and have safe passage. The meeting was confirmed by Dmitry Peskov, and after the visit, it says notably the visit was announced shortly after Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova, very intelligent woman, about 4 days ago slammed the apex peacekeeping body for neglected behavior towards Russia since the beginning of the special military operation. She had called the Secretary General Guterres of not being in touch, even with the permanent mission of Russia, the UN, or Russian foreign minister to discuss the worst war in Europe's soil in decades. It says here that Sergei Lavrov denies seeking security guarantees. Ukraine didn't respond to the agreement. So, however, there have been reports that Putin had largely sidelined the chief of the UN since his invasion of Ukraine. Yeah, you're useless. You were useless before. You're useless right now. Let's just meet, eat a little bit of breakfast, talk about the weather, and get the hell out, basically. Because you didn't push with the implementation of the Minsk agreements whatsoever. You didn't pressure Ukraine. Why? Because the guys from New York did not let you, right? All right. Besides violating the UN Charter of an, it says here, besides violating the UN Charter by annulling the Minsk Agreement and attacking its neighbor, Russia has also avoided calls from Gutierrez' office. Well, it's not Russia who really annulled the Minsk Agreement. It was the Ukrainian side who didn't make not even a step to implement it. In what? In 7 years or so? So in 7 years, there were some steps that Ukraine and the breakaway regions, if you want to call them that way, were supposed to take in order to implement Minsk agreements. And there was elections to be held, and the elections regarding the new status of the Donbass and Lugansk regions and so on. And the Ukrainian government did not do anything, what, since 2014 and 2015 until 2022, nothing. So, and then moreover, the scuffle between the two, the Ukrainian army and the, how do you call it, the separatist army broke out again. So it's Russia. Russia was not a guarantor over there, was it? I know it was Great Britain and France, Germany. I know it wasn't the United States, that's for sure, because the United States just kept to the side and pulled the strings with Ukraine, like Second World War, Poland with Great Britain and France dealing with Germany. Poland was saying no, 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 no. Why? Because the guys behind the Allies were forget about Germany, right? So anyway, noting Russian leaders skeptical about the cause, UN officials stated that Moscow prioritized their overtures towards peace. So it says here that the Secretary General will head for Ukraine after Moscow. And then on April 28th, we'll visit with President Zelensky and Foreign Minister Kuleba, the UN secretary. And he will be working, he will work with UN agencies to discuss the scaling up of humanitarian assistance, the people of Ukraine. The announcement came hours after Kaneko informed about Guterres' visit to Moscow on April 26th. Now, the thing is, we have the Turkish president Recep Erdogan, or Tayyip Erdogan, who on Friday said that he is going to hold conversations with Russian and Ukrainian counterparts, which is Putin and Zelensky, in order to try to end the war between the two countries. Well, good luck for this guy, and try to start a negotiation again. I don't think anything will come from UN. Maybe it's going to be, I don't know, some guarantees, but I don't think it's going to be guarantees that people will not be shot at, probably, which they will say, wait, we've been doing this anyway. Erdogan is not going to succeed anything because there are some other people who Erdogan has to ask. These guys are talking with the wrong person. When Erdogan calls, he can call Putin, but it's useless to call the other guy. He has to call Washington. And then Washington will tell the guy not in Kiev, because I'm not certain if Zelensky is in Kiev or not, but it doesn't really matter. But anyway, the president of Ukraine, and tell him what to do. After you remember they had that negotiation in Ankara. It was a good negotiation between Ukraine and Russia, and the Ukrainians were making some concessions, and the Russians were okay with that, and they said we need to do some more. And after the negotiation ended, the Ukrainians said, "Oh, no, forget about what we said in Ankara a day ago." Why? Because someone called from over the Atlantic and say, "Are you crazy? Cut it off." So anyway, that's my interpretation of that. Obviously, you don't just change your mind the next day just like that. But who knows? Maybe, maybe. So that's it with the visit of the UN Secretary General. I don't think it's going to solve much. Erdogan, who in the meantime seems to bombard some northern Kurdish, he calls them extremists from northern Iraq. So he has a problem with Kurd population living in southern Turkey, nevertheless, and he has his own agenda over there, and he tried to look important. Which, if he succeeds, that's great, very nice. But I have no faith, because the games are made between Moscow And New York, Washington, D.C., not Berlin or London or Paris. These are just little dogs, barking over there behind the big dog. And Zelensky is there to act in front of the cameras and do a good job, which he does. He molds tears and support and gets money and aid, and every day builds guilt and shames everybody who do not want to follow their script through Zelensky. So this is it. I hope things will improve or things will change for the better for us all with the visit of the UN Secretary General, but my prediction is that we'll be solving zero. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See you in a moment. Ciao.